Hello?
Hi, this is Josh Ronquist. How's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing great. Thank you so very much for taking the time to do this interview.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is an absolute dream of mine, as you are one of my biggest drumming inspirations this side of Mike Portnoy. Just discovering you from
Wow.
Death and Iced Earth and being able to help promote the brand new Charred Walls of the Damned album is just a fantastic honor.
Oh, well, I'm honored to hear you say that. Thank you. I'm blushing.
Well, I'm glad to be able to do that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, of course, with the new album being out now, how are you feeling the reception is for the new album?
Really, really well. I'm really psyched. I love when people describe the songs as being catchy and they stick in your head, because that's kind of what we went for, what we always go for with our album, to write music that people will be singing in their heads hours after they hear it. That's always been my favorite kind of music. I grew up in the 80s and with Quiet Riot and Twist Sister and bands like that, where once you hear one of their songs, like, you're singing it for hours and hours. So, I'm hoping that we kind of come close to doing something like that, where we write a song that, maybe gives you a little bit of a chill and excites you, and you can bang your head to. So, and the response has been awesome. I'm really, really psyched, because people seem to really be liking it.
Yeah, and I'm definitely one of those people as well. It's like, I love how you can go from blast to writing radio rock anthems on the same album. It's just such great diversity this time around.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's funny. That's some of my favorite bands are like that, where they'll just write such a different, variety of types of songs on one album that it kind of blows your mind. Like, there's a band from the 80s called Child America, who I'm a huge fan of. And they had so many different kinds of songs on one album. Like, they had an album called 3D, and they had kind of a jazz-type song called Spy, and then they had a real brutal thrash song called What's Your Pleasure, and then they had an instrumental called Prego that had kind of every different style of music in there. And I love bands like that, where it's just unexpected. There's a band I love called Coheed and Cambria, and they'll have, super, super heavy kind of Iron Maidenish type songs on their album, but then also like real soft ballads, and then just kind of more straightforward rock stuff. And I like when bands really switch up like that. So we don't really plan it like that. It just kind of comes out that way, because I like so many different kinds of metal and so many different kinds of music.
Yeah, and that's such an important thing to be able to stay creative too, because if you only listen to one style of music, you're never going to be able to really grow as much as you could as a musician. And it's awesome to see. I mean, being a huge fan of Child America and of Coheed and Cambria as two fine examples there, opposite ends of thrash and sometimes pop rock, sometimes prog rock, it's just like, it's great to be able to see that influence.
Yeah, totally. And I was always encouraged when I was young. Like, my band teacher at school always encouraged me to listen to jazz, and I went to jazz camp when I was a kid in the summer to play drums and learn how to play jazz drums. And I always loved jazz, and I always loved soundtrack too. I'm a big horror movie fan, and I'm a John Carpenter freak. So he's a huge influence on me as a musician. He's I might even dare to say, my favorite musician. So I just try to really listen to a lot of different styles of music. Honestly, in the last month and a half, because my wife and I went to Munich for Oktoberfest this year, we've been listening to polka nonstop, and I freaking love it. So and a lot of the musicians of that kind of music are really, really good. So I just try to keep an open mind, and if something comes out of me when I'm writing music that's crazy or not the typical metal sound, then we'll still put it on our album.
And absolutely nothing wrong with that either. I mean, with 3 albums worth of material for Charred Walls of the Damned, it's great to see from where you went from the first impression that you left for everyone with Ghost Town all the way to the new album now. What would you say is the biggest change that you've noticed with the band in all that time?
That's a tough one, because we haven't kind of strayed from our sound. The first album doesn't sound drastically different from the new one. I hope the songwriting has gotten a little better, because songwriting is just something you're always learning about and hopefully get better at, and I think we've gotten a little better at it. I would say between the second album and this one's a little more kind of to the point. The second album, we kind of went a little crazy with a little bit longer songs and more kind of crazy instrumentalization, I guess you'd say, which is fine too, but we wanted to just kind of keep it a little different on this one. And so I don't know that there's a vast difference between albums, but I think the production on this one is amazing. It's my favorite production so far, and I think Jay Sukoff just nailed it with the mix
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. It's my favorite sounding Charred Walls album so far. And just like being able to hear everything so crystal clear this time around in the production. With your setup, did you change anything at all this time around in the studio?
You mean as far as my drums?
Yeah.
For this one, Jason has a drum set that he likes to record with, so I went with what he had in the studio, because got it kind of dialed in to where it sounds credible, and it's still a basic 5-piece setup with a ton of diff cymbals, though. I kind of go crazy with the cymbals now. Over the years, I've gone smaller with my drum kit, especially in the studio, just as it seems easier to isolate each drum the smaller the kit is, and kind of, for me anyway, it seemed like I get a bigger sound out of a smaller drum kit, because you can really separate each drum, and also I've gotten better at kind of raising the cymbals up high so they don't bleed through the drum mic. So I'm really, really proud of the drum sound on this album, and we ended up just doing it in a pretty short amount of time. We got the drum sounds in one day and then recorded all the drum tracks next day. So pretty much recorded everything in one day, because I wanted to keep that natural live sound and that spontaneity. If I click a tom or something like that, I was like, just leave it in. It sounds real, So I just wanted it to sound real natural. I love the days like in the 70s when you hear John Bonham drum pedal squeaking and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I noticed those little nuances going on there too, and that's why I was wondering if everything was done in like a take or two, because it does have that impression on there, but it does capture that live experience so much more.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of them are probably one take from what I call. I made sure I was really well rehearsed. I practiced songs for over a month straight, before going in the studio, to make sure I had them down really good and knew exactly what I wanted to play in the studio. And I wanted it to sound real and natural, and like you were watching the band live. So a lot of them are one take, unless I had a major screw up where I dropped a stick or something. Other than that, I would just kind of go through the whole take and we just keep it. So a lot of it just straight through one take.
Oh, and that's incredible, and it shows how amazing that you are still able to keep doing that. I mean, with your amazing resume that you have of so many bands, so many guest spots, so many live appearances that you've done, that at this point where you can take so many one-take shots and produce such a fantastic recording.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked just trying to capture the energy right away in the studio. I've never been one to just spend a whole ton of time recording drums, for a couple different reasons. For budget reasons. One, because it's expensive to be in the studio, but also just as I love getting in there, getting it done, and just moving on. I love, especially with Charred Walls being a band where I write the music as well. The drums are just one part of it for me. It used to be when I was in a band, I could just kind of only focus on the drums, but now it's like, okay, let's get the drums done so we can start working on guitars. I get excited about the next step. So I just wanted to get in there, bang it out, and move on to guitars.
And speaking of that, how much time do you say that you spend more playing guitar than you do drums these days?
I still play drums a lot more. I kind of only play guitar when I'm writing music for an album. I'm not that great of a guitar player, and I don't really practice guitar, because I love just playing and writing music. So every time I pick up a guitar to write music, I never kind of learned scales or anything on guitar, just because I was so busy working on that kind of stuff on drums, working on my paradiddles, just spending hours and hours and hours on drums. So when I pick up a guitar, I like to have fun and write music. So I still play drums a lot more, but I've already started. I've actually got a few songs left over from this album that might end up on the next album. I wrote way more songs than I ended up needing for this album. I wanted to just spend time and try that, because I've always heard of bands writing tons of songs and then pick the best one for an album. So we did that this time. I wrote 22, 24 songs, something like that, and we just picked our favorite 9, or Jason picked his favorite 9, and we went with those. And so there's still a few left that I really, really like that might end up making it on the next album, and I'll probably start working on new music pretty soon.
Oh, very cool. I'm glad to see that inspiration and that fire is still going, because I know I was missing you guys over the last few years waiting for the next album, and I'm glad to see that there is already material in the works for the next album.
Oh, definitely, and thank you. Yeah, I think it worked good for us to take a little time off and to kind of have people wanting to hear from us again. I don't know if people thought maybe we had gone away or what the deal was, but it seems like people are pleasantly surprised that we have a new album out, which makes me really happy. So I just wanted to take a lot more time really refine the song, make sure we put out the best album that we could, and I think we really did. Jason and I have kind of gotten it down to a science as far as writing music together, because I kind of write everything, and then him and I go through it together, and he just kind of fine tunes it and spices up the riff and helps with the vocal melodies and all that good stuff. So we got a really good rhythm going together as far as writing music now.
Oh, that is so cool. Of course, during the sessions for the first album, you guys covered Power Mad, which is one of my favorite bands here from Minneapolis. Is there any more chances of any more covers from you guys in the future?
Yeah, we have recorded drums for a few of them. It's just as far as finding the time. We didn't ever want a cover song to kind of take away from the time that we spend on our originals for the album. So, for these last two albums, we really kind of more wanted to concentrate on making sure that the songs we wrote were as good as they could be. But now we have drums recorded for a couple cover songs. I don't want to really give away what they are because I'm surprised when people hear what they are, but they're definitely along the lines of Power Mad, bands I grew up with in the 80s. And we really want to do a flexi disc for Decibel magazine. So we're hoping to have something out early next year with Decibel, like a special single for a flexi disc. A really cool cover song for them.
Oh, that would be so cool. I would definitely pick that up the day it goes out on sale and make sure to spin that as much as I could.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I love those flexi discs. I write an article for Decibel, a horror movie article called Horror Scope, and that's the first thing I do every issue is I grab that flexi disc out of there and throw it on the record player, and I love it.
Oh, very much so. Of course, with October, of course, involving Halloween, which I know is your favorite holiday, as is mine. How are you celebrating Halloween this year?
Oh, in a variety of ways. I'm actually drinking a pumpkin beer right now as we speak.
Very nice.
I think it's at Stevens Point Brewery. I think it's from not too far where you're from.
Oh, Surly? Yep.
Well, no, it's actually Stevens Point.
Stevens Point, yes.
Yeah, I'm drinking one of their pumpkin beers right now, and my wife and I went to Munich Oktoberfest a couple weeks ago, which was Zane. It was about the most fun we've ever had, and we go to Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Studios Orlando every year. We're doing that again this year, and there's a ton of Halloween stuff going on in New York City. There's a hayride on Randall's Island. There's a brand new haunted house up in Harlem that we're going to in a couple weeks. I'm psyched about. There's a place called Blood Manor in Manhattan that we're going to. So, and I've already been to a place called the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philly a couple weeks ago that they do an awesome haunt there, and they even have a bar where you wander around in the old prison at night with a nice yard beer from Philly. So that was pretty awesome. What are you doing this year for Halloween?
I'm pretty sure we're going to be checking out some haunted hayrides and some Halloween mazes here. I have an amazing girlfriend of 3 years who's just as obsessed with Halloween as I know you are. So we definitely want to take as much time as we can to be able to experience all the great horror movies and all the great stuff that the Twin Cities area usually has to offer.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, we on Halloween night we always go to the Halloween parade here in New York City. It was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I know a couple amusement parks here actually turn their whole theme park into Halloween. It's called Valley Fair, but during October they call it Valley Scare, and they just like make everything Halloween related. It's really cool.
Oh, that rules. I love that there's so many cool things for adults to do at Halloween, like Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Universal. There's pretty much a bar on every corner. Walk around with beers and have a freaking blast. Like Halloween heaven there.
Oh, that sounds amazing. If I ever make it out that way, I definitely want to try to hit that up on Halloween. That just sounds perfect.
Oh, it's worth the trip for sure. It is. I always say if there's a heaven, I'm going to go to Halloween Horror Nights when I die.
Oh, that is so cool. Well, awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to do this. I know I had to do this a little short, and I had to cut out about a day and a half worth of questions I had about Iced Earth and Death and Howard Stern and so many great things. I'd love to be able to talk with you in the future, but I'm so glad that I was able to talk about Charred Walls with the Damned with you and be able to promote the brand new album, Creatures Watching Over the Dead, which is available now through Metal Blade. Before we're done, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
I think that's it. That's just have an awesome Halloween, and thanks so much for the kind words about our album, and hopefully we'll tackle those other questions next time. Hopefully we'll talk again then.
Oh yeah, I would absolutely love to do that. If there's anything that you have to promote or anything, I definitely would love to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you so much. And actually, yeah, Monty Pittman has a new album out too that I play drums on Metal Blade Records. It came out the same day as our album. So definitely, I would suggest for people to pick that one up too. Billy Sheehan's on bass. Awesome.
Oh yeah, I just talked to Monty, I think a week and a half ago about the album, and I made sure to talk about your playing and Billy's playing on there too. It's awesome to be able to promote both albums that you put out this year.
Oh, definitely. I'm honored to be on that album. It's a killer album. So, yeah, it's awesome talking to you, man. Thank you so much.